My name is Cherie Leeden. I'm the CEO of Gold Bull Resources based in Nevada, USA. Our team have all relocated to Nevada with the sole aim of discovering world-class gold deposits. We believe there's massive opportunity in this state, in particularly exploring undercover where they haven't previously explored historically, using modern techniques such as geophysics to really make a difference in new discoveries over here.
Cherie, good to see you again. Yeah, I do remember that. Geophysics, geochemistry, it's not the done thing over there, but you're introducing it slowly. Look, great to catch up with you. I haven't seen you since June. Want to see how things are getting on. Looking at the share price, it's kind of moved a lot sideways, like a lot of precious metal companies. So I'm not going to focus on that. But I do want to understand, how are you advancing the company? What have you been doing over and above the geophysics and geochem type stuff? So why don't you give us a little update on the drill program? Because I want to talk about where this goes.
So we're currently drilling now. I think since we last caught up, we received more positive assay results. Our project has some known gold resources that amount to about 500,000 ounces. So our last program was focused on extending those because those resources remain open in a number of directions. And then subsequent to that, we did a capital raise. So we raised about $6 million in November, December last year. And the overwhelming feedback we received from our shareholders is, instead of incremental growth, they want to see high risk, high reward. They want to see us going for our 3 to 5 million ounce new sleeper discovery type holes instead of playing it safe and incrementally growing our ounces. So we have listened, and this drill program is basically targeting those new discoveries, looking for the 3 to 5 million ounces rather than looking to incrementally grow 500,000 ounces, gradually 100,000 ounces each drill program type approach.
Okay, so go big or go home, and that's fine for a bunch of guys who've got a ton of money. The retail guys be like, "Oof, that sounds a bit pricey to me. There's going to be value destruction if you guys don't get it right." So you've got two options on the table. One is drill high risk, high reward projects, or two, M&A. We talked last time about a lot of M&A. Can we talk about what you've done with regards to that? You talked to me about 5 projects last time around. Have you closed any of those?
We haven't closed them yet. A couple of those are still certainly on the table. The ones that when we're dealing with majors, the majors move pretty slow in this respect because we're looking at their assets that are worth less than $20 million. And they're dealing with the same couple of lawyers on those assets as they are on their $100 million transaction. So it just keeps going the back of the line. For them, there's really they're not in this to make money out of these transactions. They're in this to get it off their books. So we're kind of at their mercy with respect to the ones that are held by the majors, and we're still very interested and they know it. So we're hoping eventually it comes to us, but we're certainly not counting on that. And in parallel, we're pursuing a number of other opportunities with mid-tiers and also with companies our size where we think 1 + 1 has the opportunity to equal 3.
It can do if you can get them over the line. So is there anything that's sort of like near or close, or they all just sit back, wait for the majors to make time for you?
We have one that we're in fairly advanced discussions with, in the sense, we've been talking a long time. We've passed each other's mutual due diligence. This company is also Nevada focused. Announced whether we can marry the share structures and the capital structures so that it makes sense to do it for our shareholders. Ultimately, it's got to add value to both sides. Otherwise, it just doesn't go anywhere. But we like each other's assets. We see synergies with each other's teams and that kind of thing. And then we're also on the hunt for a couple of other opportunities. We always need a backup. But M&A is certainly my focus for this year. I'd be disappointed if we didn't do an M&A transaction in 22. And I think we're well positioned to be able to do that well. My technical team focuses on adding ounces at our existing projects.
Okay, and I will come to that, I promise, Cherie. Okay, so, but on the M&A side of things, so one that you like the look of, they like the look of you, something could happen, right? In terms of the amount of Nevada stories I've heard a couple of handfuls of Nevada stories which are assets are okay to really good, cash, low on cash, or they're stranded assets because of the cash position. They're also stranded, I think, because of the management's inability to actually go and raise more capital or tell the story a different way. They're companies of a certain size. They're not dissimilar to where you're at the moment. Okay, do you see any of what are the difficulties around having a marriage of equals in Nevada. Is that a distinct possibility for you, or do you think that's just too hard? That's why you deal with the majors?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I just love this strategy of a gold roll-up of good assets and good teams where you can find them. And this other company in Nevada that we're speaking to share that idea. So the idea would be that you don't stop at 2, you keep rolling. But although there's 100 companies in Nevada, we've looked at a lot of them, and there's not a lot of really robust assets and teams that go together. We've identified less than a handful, really. So those handful, if we could consolidate those in one company, we think that'd be a really strong, several $100 million market cap company off the bat. But obviously, it takes time, and one of the hardest parts about mergers is merging people. It's not so much the projects; they go together nicely. It's getting the teams and the structure right, and the shareholders that play nicely together. Trying to find mutual shareholders is certainly key. Okay,
so the money's available if you were to do that, and that kind of gives you a sort of significant step up each time you close a transaction like that. Let's get back to the drilling. So I know you want to talk about it. You had circa 500,000 ounce last time we spoke. You've added to that through the drill bit, but you're gonna what? Because this comes back to this incremental amounts, which your shareholders telling you they don't want to see. Get us 500, right. 750, 1 million, etc. You need to make some big advances. Is the money available for the drill bit?
Yes, so we're fully funded, and most of that funding came in from already existing shareholders who participated in our initial raise, and they've participated in our second raise late in 2021, including myself and my board. So we're really motivated to find a discovery. We've got some pretty sensational targets as targets go, but it is high risk, high reward, and there's only one way to test these geophysical targets, and that's to whack a few drill holes into them.
Okay, so give us a rundown there. I know you raised it's $6 million. Is that all of that going in the ground?
So we raised 6 million Canadian, and 2 million is $2 million US is going into drilling between now and about June. And that will be deployed in the form of 5,000 metres for about 18 holes at Sandman. And then we're moving the rig to Big Boards, where we're drilling about half a dozen holes for 1,500 metres.
Right. And what's the expectation of that? Why 5,000 metres? Why there? What do you need to get from that exercise?
So then we've still got a couple mil in the bank, after that drill program. So hopefully we have success, and then the rest is a walk in the park, and we're raising money at a higher price. That's obviously the goal. If we don't have success, we've left some reserves, some backups in the kitty to go and drill other targets where we know we've got probably a better chance of success and probably lower ounces to be added. So this first round, there are high risk, high reward targets where if we just have one hole in a new discovery, it could be a game changer for the company. And we don't have any assay results yet. We've been drilling only for a month, but already we're in the rocks that are coming out of the ground. But with gold, visual is not enough. You need to see what the lab says.
Okay, and what would one successful hole look like? What would the ounces be? What would the intercept be? What do you expect?
Yeah, sure. If we had 5 metres at around 10 grams a tonne or equivalent, that would be really exciting for us, because that indicates we've got one of these high-grade feeder systems, such as I keep talking about Sleeper because it's just up the road and we're in the same rocks. So something like that would make us pretty excited, and then the whole focus would be around that hole.
I mean, that seems very different from the numbers we've talked about last time round. So all of a sudden we're talking significantly high-grade intercepts. Where's that data coming from?
Our overall grade is around 0.7 grams a tonne, predominantly oxide. But within that halo of, call it low grade, there are multiple, tens of high grade skinny hits. So that gives us confidence that we've got these high grade feeders that's basically sourcing that. It's like a mushroom cap of low grade. And now we're looking for where did that high grade come from? And we've engaged an expert called John Wood to assist our team. John Wood single-handedly discovered the Sleeper deposit, and now he's acting as our advisor. And John's like, there's just so much low-grade at surface. This has to be coming from somewhere. So for us, the challenge is finding where that's coming from with a $2 million budget. I'm pretty confident it's there. It's, how many drill holes is it going to take until we hit that?
Right. Okay. So this high grade is feeding this kind of lower grade. It's precipitating out. I mean, what is the nature of the ore structure that you're going after?
So historically, it's been very much stratigraphically focused. We're not taking that stratigraphic approach anymore. So we're looking for structures, and the model is basically that gold has come in through faults. They're typically almost vertical, and then once it gets to a pressure release zone, it basically goes horizontal. And historically, they were looking at a rock type near the surface, which is where it did the balloon or did the mushroom. However, we're looking beneath that at a geological contact of basically young rocks and old rocks. And we believe that's the first pressure release point that gold is going to hit, and where the big mother lode or where the sleeper cell is going to be. So we're drilling a couple of 100 meters below where has been drilled previously.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we're going to get through that. You're a month in. Assays are presumably quite slow, like everywhere else at the moment. How long is this drilling that you're doing at the moment, and when do you expect to actually get results back out into market?
Yeah, so this drill program at Sandman will probably keep going until around the end of March, early April. And then we're hoping to move the rig directly to our Big Balds project, which is near Elko, also in Nevada. That's just going to depend on what the weather does, because when the snow is melting, Big Balds is like a muddy mess, and we don't want to get our rig bogged. So right now, it looks like a drought out my window. There's no snow. So if there's no snow, we'll go straight there. Or conversely, if it's dried out. And also, if there is snow and it's frozen, that's fine. It's just that in-between period where it's a muddy mess. So our hope is that we go straight from Sandman to Big Balds, and we just have this news flow continually trickling in as we do batches of samples. So the first batch was sent a few weeks ago, and it's currently around 8 to 10 week turnaround. So hopefully we'll be announcing a batch of assay results every couple of weeks, starting in around late March.
How many drills did you say you've got turning?
Just one rig. We just have one RC rig.
Right. So you'll do this drilling, move, do some drilling there. By then, hopefully, you get the data back, and you'll work out, because are you going to bounce around, or are you going to get a second drill going?
Well, we're probably happy with the one rig. That allows us time to get our assay results, so we're not guessing where the best numbers are coming from. So having that one rig fully occupied allows us to plan, I guess, plan appropriately without wasting any dollars.
Right. Okay. Well, Cherie, look, thanks for the quick update on this one. I think you need to come more regularly. So we actually get a sense of how this thing is building out. Appreciate your time today. Best of luck with this drilling, and let us know how you get on. Okay.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it.